Hello, I'm the Reverend Anne Howson and I'm part of the Golden Cap team. And this week is Lent 3 and this is our midweek talk. I've given up many things for Lent, including alcohol, coffee, chocolate, television, social media, but not this year. Definitely not this year. In a sense, it feels like we've been making this Lenten journey for at least a year. And just like pilgrimage, our lives have slowed down and been simplified, sometimes beyond our endurance. We've been stripped of our everyday comfort and joy, and thus forced to travel light, without our friends and loved ones to keep us company on the way. We've found ourselves on a journey in the dark. However, we may be lonely, but we are not alone. Back in November, in an attempt to find a better story than the never-ending news cycle, I began watching reruns of The West Wing on Channel 4. It was such a hit that I gave Eddie the West Wing box set for Christmas. It's a marathon set of CDs that record the fast-paced politics in a democratic White House. We've gladly retreated into this world where America is run by a president with honour, intelligence and integrity. And thank God, we seem to return to that place again in real time. And the world on the screen is mostly optimistic, expansive and full of hope for the future. Now, after 16 weeks of watching, it will be no surprise to you that this world, this story has begun to unravel in the penultimate 7th season. Some of our favourite characters have been written out of the script. One even died on set. In the remaining months of President Bartlett's administration, the hopes and aspirations for real change have been reduced to firefighting. The bright hope at the beginning of the first term in office has grown dim. Of course, I'm describing an enormous dose of escapism here. Some of it has been inspiring, and overall, I think it's been perfect timing. As I write today, the weather has been glorious, and the first signs of spring are all around us, as are the signs that the pandemic, although far from over, might just be controlled by mass vaccination across the world. We have a new story that promises hope and a future. It will be good to leave behind the long months of living under the relentless underlying tension of enforced isolation and fear, and get back to some kind of normality. However, I do think there are some parts of our lockdown stories that we might want to bring with us. For me, lockdown and other attendant issues, such as family contracting COVID, have not been easy. But I think we have another story to tell too. We have learned to value the small things, to notice, to understand that there is hope in the darkness of unknowing, that total reliance on our own resources is misplaced, and that there is fecundity in silence. The mystery of life has been shown to us in the small things, in touches of grace, in whispered, sometimes desperate prayer, in a neighbour's smiling eyes, in the strength and beauty of trees, in the local meat and fresh fish delivered to our pop-up village market here in Whitchurch, Canonicorum. As the lockdown map has been unfurled by the government, I wonder if you're beginning to create new stories for yourselves, of family reunions, holidays outside of Dorset, and maybe trips to the city. This is indeed a joy-filled exercise, but it still has the potential to disappoint, as unlocking dates may be subject to change, as we have been warned. So may I invite you to come with me on a Lenten journey into a life-giving story filled with hope that will not disappoint. A story that is retold in the 4 Gospels at the beginning of the New Testament. And I'm not going to read them all now. At first glance, following the way of the cross might appear to be rather grim. and hopeless. It may appear as just a story of a summary execution at the place of the skull outside the city of Jerusalem. But can I urge you to give the whole story another longer look? I believe that it's the only narrative that will finally satisfy your need, and my need, for a better story to inhabit. You see, in this story, you will meet Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And I mean that quite literally. He is real. Here you will discover love above all human comprehension, deep, abundant joy, and freedom from fear. Reluctant we may be, but as we contemplate the Good Friday grave, so mysteriously we touch the mystery and wonder of life. The same loving power that raised Jesus from the dead on Easter Day raises us unbound into full glorious life today, tomorrow, and forever. Now that is a story to inhabit. The West Wing may have endured for a season, but like most of the stories we create for ourselves, it has no lasting power to sustain. So may the Lord bless you on your journey. May Christ light your path. May the Spirit guide your tentative steps, and may your heart sing with a deeper knowing and peace at last. Bless you.